Oh, what a glorious thing to be, a healthy, grown-up, busy, busy bee, whiling away the passing hours, pinching all the pollen from the conby flowers. I'd like to be a busy, busy bee, being just as busy as a bee can be, flying round the garden, the sweetest ever seen, taking back the
lovely to see you, and I'm thrilled you've popped in because you brought us your book.
Yeah.
Now, The Bad Beekeepers Club. I have to say, strange title, but you can't be that bad. How did it all evolve?
Oh, believe me, I can be that bad. Which is why I got to write a book all about it. It started many years ago when a swarm landed in my garden on a weeping pear tree, and I didn't know what to do, so there's thousands of them in this cluster, and we rang up the local Beekeepers Association, and somebody came along very calmly with a pair of secateurs and snipped off the branch that they were on, lowered them into a cardboard box on the ground, and eventually folded it up and took them away. And I thought, that's a really cool thing to be able to do. Would I be man enough to take on that challenge? And years went by, and eventually I went to the vet one day with a sick chicken called Tabasco.
Like you do.
As you do. And I was sitting there with my daughter, Flora, and she looked around and said, "Oh, Dad, there's a sign there saying beekeeping lessons." So there it was, and it said, "Sign up now and take some beekeeping lessons." I thought, not only is that a sign, it is the sign. And that's how I started.
I love when you explained to me earlier where you actually wrote the book, because for anybody who's never written a book, publishers, everybody thinks you get the luxury of being like a Jackie Collins or a J.K. Rowling, where you get months, years to write these things. Yeah. You had to do it very quickly, but where did you start it? Because everybody will know this.
Well, last summer, I took part in the Round the World in 80 Days with Louise Minchin, and we started in Mongolia. I went up through China, Vladivostok, and then ended up down to South Korea and across the Pacific for 10 days on a container ship. And I had 3 months in which to write the book. So that was where I started. You know, on a container ship, to be honest, there's not an awful lot to do. So every day I'd sort of bang out a couple of thousand words, and then I came home and finished it off. But it's, you know, as a journalist, publishers like journalists to write for writing books because they understand deadlines, and I can't write unless I've got a deadline. You know, if it has to be ready tomorrow, inspiration will strike. If it's 3 weeks away, I'll fuddle around for ages, not have the remotest idea till the night before, and then I go, yes, I've got it. And that's how it was with the book.
Now, we must touch on something as well that is rather personal, but I'm sure you enjoyed it. Strictly Come Dancing.
Yes.
Now, you see, Chris Hollins has not, in my opinion, is not a worthy winner.
Oh, come on.
I remember you on the show, and you see, you've got to remember when you did it, it was still quite new, so it was quite raw for people to, you know, we'd had, I think, Natasha Kaplinsky the year before.
The third series.
Yeah, and so, and everybody really, I mean, you did kind of tune in this, what are they going to do? And when they bring you to the, you know, the main bit where the drum roll and the guy goes, Bill Turnbull and the police, that must be the most stomach-churning moment, surely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've written about a whole chapter about it in the book, finally. It's got nothing to do with bees at all. But you stand there in front of that curtain just off, and I think it's Alan Dedicote's voice. He says, "Will Bill Turnbull please take his partner, Karen Hardy, onto the floor for the Viennese Waltz?" And Bill Turnbull saying, "No."
Bill Turnbull, it's been an absolute pleasure. The Bad Beekeepers Club is out now, and we can get it from all major stores and Amazon.
Everywhere. Everywhere. Anywhere that sells books will have that. At least till next week.
A real pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, what a glorious thing to be, a healthy, grown-up, busy, busy bee, whiling away the passing hours, pinching all the pollen from the conby flowers. I'd like to be a busy, busy bee.